Africa has 65% of the world arable land, which shows that Africa is strategic to ending hunger by the year 2050. At Protect Ozone, we believe that nature has blessed every society with what it takes and deserves to survive. What we do is to concentrate on urban farming, or what we call civic agriculture. We are fighting poverty, hunger, while protecting the ozone layer systematically from depletion. We have a lot of waste materials ranging from plastic, polythene, metal, and also sack littering the society. What we do is to harness these waste materials from the streets of Lagos State, then we use them to produce food systematically. Over the last 9 months of my SIP fellowship, SIP connected us with wonderful mentors, which has helped in building our organization. It has also helped us to leverage on the skills of our volunteers.
Currently, we have established 3 demonstration farms within the southwestern geopolitical zone of Nigeria. We've distributed over 45,000 seeds to combat ozone layer depletion and sequestrate carbon. Also, we've distributed over 500 kilograms of vegetable seeds.
A lot of Nigerian children are malnourished. We have almost 35% of the population of Nigerian children that are suffering from different levels of malnutrition. What we do is to produce highly nourishing, low-cost children's meals. And then we also know that a lot of women who are stay-at-home mothers have no means of livelihood. So we empower them through our deliberate and exclusive distribution system that empowers women to be sole distributors and sellers of our baby food products. I started Baby Grubs when I had my son, and as a naturalista, I also wanted my baby to eat natural foods. Unfortunately, I couldn't find anything that was natural on the shelf. And then I did a lot of research. I took some courses, and I said to myself, this is something I must do. And that was how I started Baby Grubs. Since we started this fellowship, we have grown tremendously. We are currently in 3 African countries. You find our products in Ghana, you find us in Togo, you find us in the Republic of Benin. We have a board now. It has been like something so difficult for us to achieve in a long time, and we moved into this factory this year. The biggest one is our NAFDAC inspection. Our factory passed the factory inspection, and we are so delighted.
We designed the first African leadership paper board game, which is Protege Lead Game. It's a game that incorporates education with fun. It can be played by 4 people at a time. While you are having fun, you are learning about leadership skill, and it has been played by over 10,000 children and young adults. 6! Finding purpose led me to starting Young Protege Leadership Foundation to change the paradigm of leadership thinking in our continent. People tend to think about leadership as being of position. I think that leadership is about disposition, responsibility, and service. In our work, we advocate for quality education because we know that it is important to get good education to fulfill your potential or fulfill your purpose as a person. Leap Africa SIP Fellowship has changed my life totally. We have reached out to about 2,500 children with school supplies. We give free books, biro, pen, ruler, eraser, and we also organize advocacy interventions in different communities in Lagos and in Ogun states.
Did you know that every year over 50 million girls all over the world get married before the age of 18? These girls get married majorly because of lack of alternatives, and that is what Mademoiselle seeks to address. Mademoiselle is working towards addressing the SDGs 5 and 6, and that's education, women empowerment, gender equality. I started Mademoiselle Foundation in my 400 levels. I was going through some circumstances that really did affect my self-esteem at that point in time. So I was in that point of vulnerability. I just knew that a lot of other girls were in that point of their lives too, and they need help. And most of these girls are girls that are even transiting from secondary school into the university, because that's where you hear of teenage pregnancy, illicit abuse of sex and drugs and alcohol. Over the years, we've been able to give like an average of 20 scholarships. This year alone, we gave 5 scholarships just to help girls stay in school and encourage them to further their education. We try to engage girls creatively. So we try to teach girls to make stuff that they can be empowered with. We've been able to reach an average of 500 girls yearly and a total of about 3,027 girls from our 5 years of existence. This year alone, we've been able to reach up to 320 girls, and we're going to do more come October, where we'll be gathering 1,000 girls.
Unemployment is perhaps the biggest problem young people face in Nigeria and much of sub-Saharan Africa.
The society taught us that you had to be either an engineer, a doctor, or a lawyer to make it in life. And so I was in the sciences while I had better potentials for the arts. Obviously, I was frustrated. And so I took off 1 year, traveled to India, and finally discovered myself in the media and creative arts. And it occurred to me that there were many other people just like me who were going to be unemployed, dissatisfied with life, and unable to fulfill their true potentials. To help such people, I founded Twim Academy. Twim Academy is a school that raises entrepreneurial minds in the media and creative arts. We teach them low barrier to entry skills and then teach them how to make money by becoming self-employed with these skills. We have trained over 500 people and at least 300 of them are profitably self-employed. We give summer training scholarships to students from public secondary schools to equip them with skills that will make them have better financial options after graduation. We host an annual conference that trains participants on entrepreneurship for free. This year, thanks to training and relationships from Leap Africa, we moved over from over 400 participants at our conference to more than 1,000.
I started my company in 2011 because I went to a public school to visit my cousin and I was pressed. I went to the toilet. To my greatest surprise, I could not use myself. I asked myself, what am I going to do to help this situation? Because you see little kids, if they want to use the restroom, they tear out sheets of exercise books. So I decided I was going to go into toilet tissue production. Then I started at Icon for short in 2011. We use jumbo reels made from recycled pulp of waste paper to produce low-grade toilet tissue for low-income families to use. And by so doing, we also supply to some schools in our community to help improve their hygiene. The name of my product is Mom's Toilet Tissue. And on our production shelf, we also have the regular size rolls and the jumbo rolls, which are now in the market.
Between February 2017 till present, there has been a 75% improvement in personal and toilet hygiene, sanitation and health education amongst these kids. Its Icon between January 2016 till present have groomed over 400 young entrepreneurial leaders, 70% of which are young adolescent girls and 30% boys. Through this program, we've empowered these youth with great entrepreneurial skills that will position their minds towards becoming great entrepreneurial leaders in the nearest future.
I couldn't stand to see people suffer. I couldn't stand to see children hugging or to see a woman with her kids on the street. Like, I literally would start crying when I see things like that happen. That still happens to me today. So for me, it was just about correcting the ills of the society, bridging the gap between the poor and the rich, making sure that everyone has equal access. And we work particularly with women, children, and young people. And we work in the areas of education, secure and sustainable livelihoods and advocacy. Right now, our front project is called Advocacy, and what we do at Advocacy is that we train young ladies on coding and digital literacy. So with access and knowledge of these technological tools, they can improve their education, they can improve themselves, and because we teach them how to code, so they can build basic websites, simple apps. So they do that and they make some extra income for themselves. And right now we have a particular focus on the north. So we have a center in Minna and people that we train there. Our projection is that 5 centers in 5 cities in 5 states. 5 functional centers that can train between 100 and 200 people every year.
At Tech, we enable access to renewable energy solutions. So basically, our initiative was launched last year in 2016, where we help in connecting rural and semi-urban regions of Africa to deploy solar solutions. So our solar solutions comes in both AC and DC capacity, and runs from 500 watts to 3.5 kV, and they are all mobile solutions. Easily collapsible and fit into your car park. And these are solutions that may not solve our energy issues at the moment, but they are here to stay. Presently, most Nigerian homes actually run on kerosene powered lanterns, and these affect the ozone layer. And so we are actually mitigating against the use of fossil fuel and then the hike, a constant hike in price of this solution. So with our mobile solar solutions, you can actually get a 500 watts solar mobile genset for as low as 150 naira per day. So far we've been able to connect over 40 homes, and we hope to connect 5,000 homes.
Initiative is to empower and provide quality education to the underprivileged kids, especially in mathematics, and to develop the leadership potentials in young people so they can impact their world as well. I started this organization as a result of a personal experience I had. When I was in my SS2 class, my dad passed on and I had to drop out of school for some time. Amidst all of these challenges, I was able to go to school, gain a scholarship, and graduate with the first class and as the best in my department. So it was really a huge breakthrough for me. So I knew I wanted to be part of shaping the lives of people by giving people who were like in situations I was in the opportunity to further their education by assisting them with scholarships, by helping provide mathematics tutorials to them, and by inspiring them to look forward to their future. In the next 5 years in Nigeria, we see ourselves taking over 3 million kids out of the streets, sponsoring their education, inspiring them, mentoring them, giving them math tutorials, and making sure their lives are better than the way we met them. In the last 9 months since I became a SIP fellow, it's been amazing for me because I learned about organizational structuring. I learned about how to have an effective board and how to take advantage of the people in my board, so as an organization we can achieve our desired goal.
In Nigeria, especially in most rural and semi-urban areas, a lot of girls entering secondary school never complete their education. Some of the reasons are lack of access to information on puberty stage, menstruation, menstrual hygiene, and lack of access to affordable sanitary pads. Most families living on less than $1 a day cannot afford to buy sanitary pads for their girls as they are too expensive. This results girls to use unhygienic materials such as notebook paper, tissue paper, rags, and some other unhygienic materials which make them uncomfortable in class during their menstrual period. Girls miss about 5 classes in a month as a result of lack of access to affordable sanitary pads and later drop out of school. Green Pad concept produce affordable, hygienic, and biodegradable sanitary pads that are produced from locally available raw materials, with the main raw materials being plantain and banana stem fiber. These pads cost 50% less than the existing pads in the market, so that girls and women from underprivileged families and communities can access these pads. When I started SIP, I started with just an idea of creating sanitary pad, Then I only educate girls on puberty stage, menstruation and menstrual hygiene. But in the course, I was able to achieve my goal, which is manufacturing sanitary pad.
Cycle Point is a Nigerian recycling and social benefit venture that enables citizens to create value from their everyday waste. We started Recycle Point in the bid to address the urban waste crisis in Nigeria. We have currently over 6,500 households, corporate organizations and schools registered on our platform. We hope to take in our collection and sorting hub to more societies, neighborhoods, and also get more people empowered through the franchise model to have a recycling kiosk or independent collection in different locations within the community. LEAP SIP 2017 has been a fantastic ride. I enjoyed every bit of it. The lectures, the topic, trainings were quite amazing and insightful. I'm leaving here well equipped and well motivated to even do more. The network has been fantastic. I was opportunity to meet lovely young social entrepreneurs such as me doing fantastic work in different parts of the country. Indeed, there is hope for Nigeria.
Process or preserve tomatoes to help farmers against post-harvest loss. And particularly, we equally help our consumers save their time and money in purchasing tomatoes, especially during scarcity. So we process this tomato to produce tomato powder and tomato paste, purchasing our raw materials from the farmers in Kaduna State, Kaduna, Kano, and Jigawa states. So I was motivated to start this initiative because most farmers in our society, especially in Kaduna State, they slice excess tomatoes and sun-dry them in open field, which is quite unhygienic. So we felt, who will buy? And we decided, okay, let's come into play. And we started processing and preserving these tomatoes, producing tomato paste and tomato powder for the masses. My initiative started very small, and we started by running a traditional business. We started from processing less than 100 baskets of tomato. We have the market efficiency of about 1.4 million tons of tomato. So I would really like to improve my initiative to have this large capacity in the food industry.
CASPEM stands for Cassava Peel Meal. Cassava peel meal is a livestock feed that is produced from agricultural waste and is highly nutritional and cost low. In Nigeria, high cost of feed has remained the unresolved challenge and the root cause of high cost of poultry meat. And this constraint has greatly reduced the economic benefits of smallholder livestock farmers. I developed CASPEM to assist these smallholder farmers generate more income, grow their businesses, and to reach full potential.
Over the last 1 year, Leap Africa has connected me with about 19 social entrepreneurs from across Nigeria. They have also exposed me to series of learning and opportunities such as interactive mentorship, masterclass training, and series of other activities. Through this unique set of experience, I have gained broad base of knowledge and access confluence of network that can be leveraged to effect considerable change in my business.
I feel it's sad that a Nigerian child will have to wait for 16 years of schooling before they are able to make something out of their life, to create a business, to get a job, or to be able to provide solutions. So I told myself, what if I can create a kind of education in Nigeria where a child doesn't have to wait for 16 years to create solutions? What if they can turn the knowledge they have in their head right now into solutions? And that's why I created Curricle Academy in January 2016. So what I do is I live with rural youths in a way that they can look at their own skills, they can look at their own talents, they can look at the experience of their life, and they can put that all together with the resources they have in their community to create solutions. So I've worked in 2 rural communities in Nigeria, in Benue State and in Kwara State, and we have seen where rural youth are able to turn food kitchen waste into organic manure. They're able to turn tires, wasted tires, into executive chairs. We've seen situations where we're beginning to think of how we can turn feces into useful cooking material. So there's a whole lot of solutions that is coming up because we are looking at their strengths rather than looking at their weakness.
My name is Dr. Wab Emmanuel, one of two co-founders of Mobicure Nigerian Limited, developers of the multi-award-winning Omomi mobile application, which is an online platform where women and doctors form a community to enrich themselves in health education and provide access for mothers, especially in rural communities, and mothers who really naturally will not be able to get quality healthcare services. Omomi has benefited over 17,000 women directly and indirectly over 34,000 women across the country. As part of our social responsibility, we organize monthly medical outreach in rural communities across Benin City and its environment. Working in Omomi and meeting women who don't have access to quality healthcare has really inspired and challenged me really that I can do more than just being a regular passerby in this world. It has challenged in me something that 5-10 years ago I wouldn't have imagined myself. So one thing I want to put out to every youth is that no matter how hard you think it is, or no matter what you think the change policy will be or a change of agent is, you have to start from the